And what are you looking to get out of this review? Just you said you're looking to get better, but what do you think you need to get better?
I'm thinking, like one thing I noticed is I struggle with timing really.
Ooh, okay. Now, the fact that you even brought that up means that you've done a little bit of your research, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so explain timing and what's that whole concept mean to you?
It'd be like going in at the right times. Like as soon as my team goes in, I go in.
Okay.
Like behind them.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, you must have watched some VODs. Okay. Why is that important?
Because if I go in too early, the whole enemy team's gonna focus me.
Okay. And has that been something you've been actively working on?
Yeah.
Okay. So you sound indecisive there. What does that mean? Does that mean that you've not improved at it as much as you'd like, or you're struggling to work on it, or like what's the deal?
Kind of just struggling with it a bit.
Okay. So explain that a little bit for me.
Just, sometimes I just don't think about it. I go in a little too early or too late.
Okay.
But mostly late.
Okay. Now, why do you think that is? You didn't realize you're going into a psychiatrist's couch, did you?
Yep.
But really, though, let me know.
I think I just take a little while, to set up.
Okay. Okay. So I think that's actually a pretty sharp observation. Might take a little too long to set up, and then that is a common problem for tracers. Like they've watched the Spilo video, they know exactly what they're supposed to do, but then they're like, man, by the time I get on the back line or on the flank or on the angle, the fight's already lost. Like what the heck, right?
Yeah.
So this might especially be a problem in Koth. Why?
What was that?
It might be especially a problem in King of the Hill. These type of maps, right? Why is that?
Because I think I'd end up staggering myself.
But why are you more likely to be late in a map mode like this? Like if you're looking to set up the perfect angle, do you have like 60 seconds to set up before the fight starts?
Awaking time to
No.
Thank you for the sub, Lightwaves. No, you don't. The fight's starting like now, right? People are rolling out. Everybody's like put on their Nikes and they're rolling out, right? Excuse me, I work for a London Spitfire. They're Puma shoes, and they're running out. So if you don't have time to get to the back line, like is that what you're trying to do? So you're always trying to go like, if I were to say like this is the enemy team right now, hey, where would you like to be shooting the enemy team? If like let's say we're fighting here.
Right there?
Okay, yeah, sure, right here. Where would you be?
I'd be like I think behind them.
Okay, so yeah, behind them with tracers, always good. Why is that?
So I could focus supports right there.
Sure, it's the squishies, right? Not always good, but most of the time it's good, right? Yeah. Now, you aren't going to have time to get there in the King of the Hill. Not always. And that might happen in other times too, where you just aren't able to set up all the way. So if you can't set up the perfect backline pressure, what would also work? Like, let's just look at this from a holistic standpoint, okay? So I assume you cannot see my mouse. Can you see my mouse? Yes, no?
No.
Tragic. Okay. So you would want to be here, optimally, shooting back here. But like, let's say you can't sit up there. What would be an okay secondary option?
You see to the right where Reinhardt is?
Yeah.
I'm thinking right there.
So like this over here?
Yeah.
From this angle? Yeah, sure. Exactly. Anywhere where there's cover or you have a little bit of an angle, even if it's not all the way in the back line, it's still good, right? And the reason it's good is because if you can split their attention over here, thank you for the bits, Lightwaves, then that's good. You're splitting their attention and you're not stuck shooting Reinhardt's shield. You kind of see what I'm saying? Now, I'm about to blow your mind. This is we're gonna take this to the next level, okay? So get ready. So I want you.
Nah, BB.
Oh my gosh, these bit donations. Okay. If let's say they were to all roll out here, right? Ryan, Lucio, Anna, might that soldier do? What is something that soldier might try and do?
Thinking he'd go high ground?
Maybe, yeah. He might go high ground. Exactly. Brilliant. So you don't have time to go all the way behind and shoot Anna, yeah? Maybe.
Yeah.
But what do you have time for?
Then meet the soldier at middle.
Meet
Right
the
there.
soldier at middle. So what ends up happening is, like you were describing that Reinhardt angle, you might run into people here. And what's the nice thing about Tracer and 1v1s? Usually.
Really good at dueling.
Yeah, she wins. She
Yeah.
wins most of the time. Even if she doesn't win, she rarely dies. So you can just be annoying, keep that soldier tied up, maybe force him to run away off of high ground. And even if you don't kill him, if you make the soldier run away off of high ground, is that good for your team?
Yeah.
Brilliant, right? So what Tracer is you are somebody that can go around, if you have the time, and get to backline and shoot people. But even if you don't have time or can't get to backline because somebody else is there, you can tie them up. You can keep them busy. You're the guy that you're throwing streamers and throwing like rocks at them and just being a general nuisance, so that the more dangerous soldier at this range, he can't stay here.
Never give up.
Or he has to get help here. Because the thing is maybe the soldier stays on high ground and you can't bully him off, right? But for him to do that, what would that Ana have to do to help him?
You have to focus on him, and
Exactly.
she won't have time to heal the rest of the team.
Exactly. Maybe even the Lucio comes up there, like, right. So you're gonna pull more than one person's worth of resources, and so that's a great trait for you. If that Ana's hard pocketing the soldier and you don't kill him, okay. As long as it's done at the right time, you're okay with that. Okay. Thank you guys for the bits. You're killing me. All right. So does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So knowing that, is your rollout here okay so far?
Right there.
Yeah.
Nah. Whole team's right there.
Okay. Do you expect the whole team to be there for Team Red to usually be there? Do teams
Most of my game.
Do teams
Not
usually roll out
really.
here?
No, not. I don't usually see teams roll out here.
Okay.
Usually go on point.
Okay. Right. So this is one of the few like rank specific things that you'll hear me say is like usually lower rank different ranks will roll out in different locations, so it kind of makes your job a little tricky. As you get to higher ranks, more teams will roll out on this side. It's a little bit more common. So it might become to a situation where this is something that you do all the time because most teams go to point, but eventually you're probably going to get to a point to where you might just have to start rolling out on this side. Or maybe you roll out here, but you're not committing here. You're like, okay, are they here? Are they not? But does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just more map specific, not super important. Now, okay, so let me just see here. So yeah, exactly. So you see Ryan Shield, you're like, okay, this is wrong, right? You're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. Now the way these fights will work out, it gets messy. So let's hopefully find out if you can get doing something. Okay, are we liking what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you? Are you on backline? Are you on an angle? Are you shooting something other than Reinhardt? Okay.
No,
Well, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just focusing Ana right there, just by herself.
Sure, totally fine. Is there actual combat going on in the battlefield right now?
No.
You sure?
Well, they're up there and my team's down there.
Yeah, a little bit. But do you see what was happening while you were clipping on it? Let me go back just a little bit. Sorry, this is too long. It's always 15. Okay. Is stuff happening right now? Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. And sometimes that's good enough. Like let's not say that you're not allowed to do anything unless your team is actually engaging them. Use your sense. Does this look like a sensible engage to you?
For us?
For you, yeah. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Is there stuff like actually happening, or is this Ana isolated?
Ana's isolated right there.
Yep, exactly. So you're okay. You're okay. Like the Ana's dead. Good work. And look at what was happening at the same time. You see? You Winston's in. That soldier's not getting any healing. Why? Because who's harassing her?
Me.
You. Yeah. Yeah, so is this all making sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. You just really need to be on an angle, doing something at the same time as your team is doing. Okay, so let's just see what happens. There's really not a whole lot to review here. You did a great job. You were on a good position. Not initially, but you started to set up a good position. You're like, oh shoot, that's a Reinhardt. You wrap around, you hustled, you found a target, you pressured the target, you killed the target, you move on. Great job.
This first round, I think I did all right. It's just the rounds after that.
Okay. Well, good. So what the reason why I don't mind, I want to spend even a little bit of time in this is, even though you think you played okay, let's find out why it worked. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, what were you doing here, or why was it so easy now, but it just felt so terrible earlier? They're on a trolled. They're on a got split. They like, even though you walked into a Reinhardt shield over here, a little bit unlucky, you were able to wrap around and set up a nice little angle over here. That's phenomenal. That's exactly what you want to do. So what happens here that doesn't happen elsewhere? Nice. Do you see what I was talking about? Remember what I was saying with the soldier thing? Like how you don't necessarily need to get to the backline.
Link. $1 of this donation.
But you stopped them from getting to the back line?
Children Hospital. You can shower Spilo in dollar and help children.
So what does that mean here?
Their tracer can go into our backline.
Exactly. So you're like, this is my angle. Screw you. I want to play here because I want to use this to get to your backline. But their tracer's like, screw you. I want to get the backline. But the thing is like, she can't. You were here first. You got the corner. You got the mini health back. And you get the kill. Wild. Okay. Very, very well played.
Who's next?
And why do you think, like, I don't want you thinking too hard about this, but just for fun, okay? Why do you think it might be better that you actually are dueling their tracer than you are dueling their backline? This is like deep, like, this is like a serious, like, red pill stuff going on here.
Thinking because then I'm protecting my backline. I can't guarantee that my supports will be able to take care of their tracer.
Sure. Why do you think that's the case? Can you compare backlines for me?
Okay. They have Moira, Anna. I have Zenyatta, Anna.
Okay. So tell me about that.
So their tracer could kill say our Zen easier.
How's killing a Moira?
And killing Moira is fucking annoying.
It's obnoxious. Yeah. So your Zen live. If that's, you just basically say, screw you, tracer. You're not doing squat. Our Zen's gonna live, and we're gonna win because of that. And the funny thing is it's not just the fact. Now, I don't know how good the Zens are at this rank. So maybe this is something. Maybe I'm talking like this is Masters GM Zens. But most Zens are gonna try and help you with Harmony Orb in Discord. At least it's part of the time. But what can a Moira do to help a tracer do?
Their tracer?
Yeah. What can she help their tracer?
She could throw an orb at him.
Yeah, but do you think she's going to do that?
Probably not.
Probably not. That's super inefficient. And the funny thing is, the coincidence here is you can actually see that in action here. Because look at what happens.
Yes, the Moira's right there.
So, the Moira, right? You shoot her, and the Moira can't help her. Look. Oh shoot, I have to help my tracer, but she's too far away. It's not time. So isn't that funny? But yeah, this is like a little bit above your pay grade. I wouldn't too worry about whether I should be dueling their tracer or not too much. But I just want you on an angle, on a flank. If somebody runs into you, keep them busy, right? All right, so let's see. Is all this making sense? And you could say no, because we've gone over a lot.
No, I'm making sense right now.
Okay. Not sure what was happening here. What was the deal here? Is this just getting healing? Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this where you should be going? Does this look smart?
I'm not sure.
Where are you positioned right now?
Basically, that's frontline, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you don't have to overthink this. Just, does it feel right? You know, do you feel like you're on an angle or on a flank? And if the answer is no, then the answer is probably no. Right. No. So what should you be doing instead? And again, you've got options here. There's never always one right answer. What are your options here? So you go back to your team because you're like, my stupid honest not hitting me. And by the way, this is where, yeah, go grab the pack, exactly. Because it means you can stay here and not have to walk all the way in front of your honest. So that's bad. But okay, unlucky, go next. This kind of stuff will happen where like the pack's taken. I need healing for my supports. Okay, now what could you do?
Thinking go to the left. Right.
Why?
There. So I could get an angle on them.
Okay. Uh-oh. What are you going to run into on the left?
Their ball.
Okay. What are you going to do?
I'd probably shoot them.
Okay. Let me tell you something right now. Wrecking balls love dueling tracers. They love it. It makes it you know what happen? You know why? Because when the game's
I actually
over.
have a job now, so I can sink dollar.
Okay,
into
I'm sorry.
this
These bit
without
donations, you
ruining
guys are
myself.
killing me.
You can't beat me.
Balls love it because when the game's over with, the miserable game with the miserable tracer, they realize that, you know what, life outside of Overwatch isn't actually too bad. You're like, so yeah, you make it so yeah, exactly. Basically, they don't like dueling tracers. They don't like dueling tracers. Like it's just not fun. So like if you come here and you just start shooting ball, you can ignore ball if you want to. You could just sit here and hide and then be like, wait, 3, 2, 1, and then start shooting Moira, and she's gonna hate you. You're gonna force fade. You can wrap around. You could go the soldier. You could shoot monkey. Like monkey uses bubble and hides behind a corner, and then you just walk out and you pulse bomb on the back. He's gonna hate you, right? But you could also just shoot ball. And then what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?
Gonna run.
He's gonna run away. He's gonna take a lot of damage. He's gonna run away. He's gonna spend time dueling you, which he just can't. Like he just can't. Like the balls almost never can kill tracers. But meanwhile, instead, what's happening is you're frontlining, and you almost died. You almost died. And then what you actually do is and then you know what's funny though is you actually fix it though. So this is really good. So okay. And look at that. That Moira has to legitimately leave. If she had not used her fade there, she would have died. And so on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Nice. This is kind of a... Brilliant. It's a little weird that your Nano Monkey went that far. I don't think you were ready for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the situation like right now. So this is a really good question because you're talking about, oh, I'm late and that kind of a thing. So what should you do now? Because what's the difficulty right now? Because this is where like ranked stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difficulty here?
Monkey's all in there, and my team's all the way back there. He's by himself.
Can you set up an angle on this engage? Like, can you get up?
Really.
Can you get right? Exactly. No, you just can't. So what do you do?
No, I'm not sure.
Think about it, and don't be afraid to take a guess.
Okay.
Because there isn't really a very clear right answer here. There's my opinion, and then your opinion might be different, but we can talk about it.
Thinking maybe go to the right and wait till Monkey comes back and then shoot him.
So you're
From
saying
behind.
like here?
Yeah, like right here.
Okay, that would work fine. So you're just basically you're like, you know what, my monkey's kind of feeding, but he'll probably be out fine. So I'm gonna set up for the next fight. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I like that. The other thing you could do right now is conservatively blink forward and shoot people.
That's yeah.
Now that is definitely a little risky, right? There's a chance that you might die. You're not really on a great angle, so maybe you can get this Moira who's got no fade. Maybe she's discorded. You know, so that would also work. But I don't. This is not wrong. What you're saying is like my monkey's feeding, but he'll get out. I'll be fine. I need to set up for next fight. That is also right. So what you did there, honestly, not too bad. Looks okay to me. Great. But that's the kind of quote-unquote being late that I'm totally fine with. Did you have any opportunity to set up for that at all?
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't. So don't worry about it. Okay, and look at that. He's out. Okay, now this is where, you know what? You're doing a good job this round anyway. Now we're hyping you up because we're apparently going to tear you down next round, at least from what you're saying. But this is good. This is really darn good. Like, is your team fighting right now?
Yeah.
Are you on an angle?
I'm right here behind them. Yeah.
Are you near cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You have at least have options of cover with here and here. Like, you don't always have to be like next to a wall like a Zen does, but you have options. So this is really good. This is great. Even if you whiff this pulse bomb, I don't even care. Obviously, probably wouldn't have gone. I think you were going for the on and you ended up sticking the Moira, but like whatever.
Yeah.
Like if nothing else, if you force fade, if you force attention, like that pulse value is pulse value, right? So.
We're prepared to spend the whole war budget on this.
Oh my gosh. You guys are gonna make me feel bad.
You got what's coming to you.
Listen. All right, I'm sorry, Trip. We got a war in my chat. I gotta pause for a second here. Okay, listen. Daddy loves both of you. You're both his favorites. if you want to spend any more bits, draw me a do a nice like Microsoft Paint drawing of me that I can put in my Discord. And then I will judge which one's better, and that's how I'll decide who's the superior one.
No, we're the favorite.
Hey, Bionicle Boy, shut up. Okay, somebody call me a Bionicle Boy, Trip. Tell you what. Okay, yeah, this is all fine. I mean, so because we can still get value out of good VODs, right? You tell me what was the reason that round felt so smooth. Why did that feel so smooth? What were you doing well? Not what which team was it? What were you doing well?
Taking angles, taking good flanks on them.
Okay. What else?
I feel like timing was pretty good right there.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Most of the
Spilo,
time.
I would win anyways.
Mm,
Are you
good,
saying you don't want my money?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I don't want your money. You have been more than enough generous. Thank you, though. But yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think your timing was actually quite good there. It was very good. So you should be proud of yourself. Now, when you were not winning a lot of fights makes timing very easy. When things start to get messy and your teammates start struggling a little bit, it gets a lot harder. So we're going to see how things go here. But that's good, though, because that kind of stuff happens. So we can actually really get to the root of the issue. Not just, you're playing great, right? Okay. Now, oh boy. Before we continue here, is there anybody on the enemy team that looks like an easy snack for you to kill?
No one.
Yeah.
The easiest I'd say is Anna, but still pretty hard.
Well, we
Not
don't
really.
want our money either.
Okay. So, these bits, man, I'm sorry. This is the worst VOD review in the history of the world. So how do you get value? Because let me put it this way. If you only play Tracer to get 1 clips on the enemy Zenyatta or Widow, then you're playing Tracer poorly. You're not playing it, because what else does Tracer do? For example, if you were on an angle on a flank, but you can't 1-clip anybody without just instantly dying, why would you play Tracer then?
Ooh, money.
Why play Tracer?
Uh,
Because you're going to have people in your ranked games tell you this. They're on Hog, they're on Moira, you need to get off Tracer. If it hasn't happened yet, it will. So why still play Tracer? And why? It's hint. It's the reason why she's continually so unbelievably flexible in Overwatch League and below.
She could still pull attention, control flanks. Yeah.
Oh, you said it. You're so smart. Yes. Because the thing is yes, they can hook you. Yes, they have Moira Fade. Yes, they have shields and self heals and Wraith. That means it's going to be really difficult to actually get kills, but you can just be a permanent thorn in their side. You ever have like a rock in your shoe? Okay, that's you. And you could do that constantly. Constantly. And as long as you're aware of hook, sleep, things like that, and you play carefully, then you can get... The thing is like, for them to go Moira Reaper, right? They lose a lot of like damage, right? You kind of see what I'm saying? Like they don't get, like, for them to go hard counter the enemy Tracer, they have to pay. You kind of see what I'm saying? It's expensive. Like, do you think that your team is as scared? Like, the thing about you're playing your Zen. Are you happy that they're on like Moira Reaper now as Zen instead of Tracer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes my life a little easier, right? So for them to hard counter you, it's expensive for them. It's expensive for them. And you don't even have to hard commit to kills. If you just keep these guys tied up, your monkey's going to love it.
My goal in life is
You can
to
see
be
what
a
I'm saying?
rock in a shoe.
Okay. So be the rock in the shoe, be annoying, don't die, and put out constant pressure. Constant pressure. That's the thing with Tracer, though. It's like the thing with Tracer is she's just almost impossible to counter. Like Tor, Brig, Moira, Ryan, Kree, or something like that. Maybe you could, like, that would be almost too hard. You know what I'm saying? But like Overwatch League player, like you just can't. It's so hard to hard counter Tracer. It's almost impossible.
Like you're saying that now, and I already know what what I did wrong.
What?
Exactly what you said. I did the opposite.
Okay, but that's so good though.
Yeah,
because
I realize that now.
Right, and that's the thing, because it's so it makes me so happy to hear that, because it makes it so simple. Like, again, I'm not saying it's easy to fix. A lot of these things will take time, but you don't have to go into these games going, I don't know what to do. No, remove that. I just hit My wife bought me this balloon and just smacked it with my hand. I was moving my arms too hard. But no, that you know what you have to do. It might be hard to do, but there's no guessing. If I tell you do 1,000 jumping jacks, yes, that's kind of tricky. That's hard, but you know exactly what you have to do. So I'm very happy to hear that. So
Yeah.
what's the problem? Right now, there's already a problem. It's not a big problem, but I'm a little concerned.
Trying to fight that hog right there.
Yeah, this isn't great. You got to be really careful about this, right? You got to be really careful about this. Okay? So, were you anticipating hook?
Right there?
Yeah.
Probably not. I wasn't thinking about that.
Okay. Something to think about. Because actually,
Yeah.
what you actually did was fine, but I'm not sure if you're doing it for the right reasons, if that makes any sense. Okay,
Yeah.
so now what's the plan? Now what do you do?
Right there. What I actually did is I went for Moira, but really I should have gone for a flank right there, I think.
Why?
Because
Because are you on a flank already? Oh, because this is gonna be such an important question to answer. Are you already kind of on a flank right now? Kind of.
kinda, yeah.
But why would you not go for the Moira?
So I really don't want to do a Moira.
Okay. So that's the thing. Do you see what you're saying? So you're saying not angles are created alike.
Yeah.
Okay. Something to think about, because you're right. Sometimes this is technically an angle. I would rather have you dueling Moira here than standing here.
Yeah.
Bad stuff happens here. But I would rather have you here, exactly like you said, than here. Keep going. You earned it. You killed the hog. Keep going. Find the target that is the most... Because why are squishy targets the targets that you go for? Not just because they're easier to kill, but even if you don't kill them, what do they do in voice chat?
Tracer on me.
Yeah, exactly. Or even if they don't join, they blow every cooldown, right? They panic.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. If you force nade, that's not a nade. The nade your team doesn't have to worry about. You force sleep dart, team doesn't have to worry about sleep dart. You force shield or rock, team doesn't have to worry about those resources as well. Moira, what are you going to force? Maybe fade?
They fade.
Right? Not very expensive for them to do that. So, okay, let's see what happens. And to be clear, I don't think this is a terrible mistake either. I don't think like, oh, you're trolling. I just think you could be doing better things than what you're doing right now. Like, it's like you do get rid of her. You know, you do go send her back to your team, and now you've kind of cleared her out, and now you can keep going. But I just think it could have been better. Okay. I mean, this is not bad, man. This is not bad. I mean, there you go. Good job. Now, what do you need to do now? What is the number one priority for you?
Probably back off and get heals, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Just a general mindset here. It's just, yeah, you just need to survive. You've done a lot. You kill the hog, you kill the Moira, you keeping the Sigma distracted. Now just survive. Now, like, get a mega. Maybe you can keep doing the Sigma. Maybe you can go and pressure a little bit from here. You don't need to go crazier.
Yeah, go first.
That's
and I leave.
That's fine. This is good, right? Great. You know what? You forgot about spawn, but I'm not going to even give you a hard time. This was actually a pretty decent fight from you. Okay? Could have been cleaner. What could have been cleaner about this fight? What could have been cleaner?
Okay. Could have taken some better flanks and backed off earlier.
Sure.
I'm thinking.
And remember the Moira versus Ana, keep it deepening, you know, that kind of whole conversation.
Yeah, and that.
Right, of course. But not bad. This is okay. This is okay. My only concern with this here is like maybe I think it's because he's discorded and he's low. I think you go for it, but do be careful, right? Like this would be a situation where you would want your Zarya, like for example, like if your Zarya starts to peak here, and then that's kind of when you want to go. Like try and have a general idea of when that is. But I'm being a little nitpicky. Honestly, not too shabby. How much have you played this season?
This season?
Mm-hmm.
I could look that right now. I have Overwatch open. I've played 82 games this season.
Okay. How many hours is that in the thing? I don't remember.
Let me see. Uh, 15 hours.
Okay. What was your peak SR last season and this season?
Okay, last season I peaked 2873.
Okay. This season?
This season 2713.
Okay.
But I think I played more last season than this season. This season I haven't played that much. Been busy.
Odd. This is odd.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
Yeah. This is just strange. So, you see this. What do you think?
Right now, I'm thinking probably shouldn't go into that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you choose to go into this?
And yeah.
Or you choose
And
to...
I run.
Okay. So what was the plan there, though? Just duel the Reaper?
No, I was trying to take a flank there, and then I was trying to go up there, but Reaper caught me right there.
Flank here to where?
To their side right there, behind there.
But you would run into the same targets that you just ran away from.
Yeah.
You gotta see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you know what? What I ended up doing there was going. You see the high ground up there, there.
Mm-hmm. You wanted to go up to the Ana.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Understandable. My only concern is maybe it takes too long to get there. Maybe. Yeah, we're a little late. That's my concern. So this is where I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
And I don't think there's the right answer or not. I want you to think about it a little bit, okay?
Okay.
In this situation, would it have been better for you to peek here and shoot, blink here, maybe blink here, pressure point, shoot, harass the Sigma, Moira, Hog, get them to look at you? Or would it have been better to take a little bit longer to blink all the way up top and go get that Ana? Or maybe even blink across this way and go up top to go for Ana? What do you think?
I think what you said first would have been the best, I think.
You sure? Why is that?
Because I'd be pulling their attention. The people, those tanks right there, would have been pulling their attention. Would have gave time for my team to go in.
Okay. What's the priority if this is what you're going to do? For you, what do you have to make sure?
That I don't die.
Okay. Correct. And it also, don't take too much damage either, really. You want to you want to avoid everything that you possibly can. I would agree, but I was also very open for you going high ground if you hustle. But you have to understand, like, this is the kind of thing when people talk about tracer playstyles, I think it's a load of crock. Every tracer needs to either I am hard playing for a kill or I'm just playing for pressure, and that's it. There's really nothing complicated. You can just say here, it's more important for me to put pressure at the right time than it is for me to put pressure on the right target. That's really the only conversation that we're really having here. You kind of see what I'm saying? And there really isn't any wrong answer. I mean, there's just this is. I feel like this right now is probably the more consistent play, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would agree with that. But it's all about knowing what your role is and knowing what you gotta do, right? And what's expected of you. So this takes a lot of time. And obviously running into the Reaper is a bit unlucky, but like it just nothing. Also, there's a mega right here. I think you were looking in the wrong spot. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like you'd be surprised at how long it takes to figure out some of the stuff. But yeah, because the ultimately you do take this angle, but you don't even really get to the Ana in time. Okay, you've taken the high ground now. But like, ooh boy, like it's sketchy. You see what I'm saying? It's sketch as all get up. This fight might already be lost. Nice. Survive. Oh.
God.
Yeah. See, and I'll be real honest with you. This is also, I'm not loving this either. So this is fine here, but do you feel like kind of. This is kind of spooky. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This feels ugly.
The middle of all of them.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting like an uncomfortable feeling in my stomach. So you blink around, and that's good. This is much better right here. But I'm not even sure that I would have blinked back towards him again. So I think I would have blinked up towards the stairs. So like here, I might have blinked up this way, right? And then peeked out and shot more, and then okay, I'm gonna recall out and then blink back towards my team this way, get healing, whatever. Nice stick. But then again, the question is like, you just need to live. You just need to live, and as long as you do that, you're gonna be okay. So this hog is kind of pooping on you. I wouldn't even say that you're doing things completely wrong. I just think some of these things that need to be cleaned up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is like, I guess I'm gonna might end up with 2 odd VOD reviews in a row where there's actually not a lot of big concepts that we have to go over. I just think you need to clean them up. I think you actually have a pretty good understanding of what you need to be doing. You're just not doing them very well. Like again, like, is this an angle? Are you on the right time? Yes, but an Ana just walks back from spawn and sleeps you. You know, like this keeps happening, so you keep getting cheesed. All right, this fight's probably. Yeah, I'd probably play for this. The Reaper solo. Recall, probably recall. Oh! I can't believe it, man. This is wild. Okay, so this is something. This is something. So again, you're doing almost all the right things, but like you desperately need to grab a health back here or recall. I think you're going to go look for your supports. Stop that. Recall, just have a health back, man. And then you died at the same stupid AUG coming back from spawn. Absolutely brutal, man. Okay. This is kind of like what we're talking about with the soldier thing. Remember that? How where if you run into a Pharah here instead of the Ana, are you okay with that?
Not
think
sure
so.
what to put here, but I want
Do you remember
to
the
hear
soldier
boss talk, so
from
here
the
it
first
is.
round?
Yeah, soldier.
Yeah. Can you beat a Pharah in a 1v1?
Depends.
Okay. Explain.
Usually if she doesn't have heals, but if she gets heals, no.
Yeah. So that's why I specified 1v1.
Yeah.
And again, the situation is that if she does get heals, it's now a 2v1. And as long as you survive, you're happy with that trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Yes. If this Pharah tries to flank, she will die. Thank you, Baggins, for the sub. Appreciate it. Okay, let's keep going. Tragedy. Looks like you're a little late. I'm not sure if that's just because your Zarya is trolling or what. Yes, your Zarya is trolling.
Yep.
I mean, I look at the rest of your team and I'm like, there's no way that they're taking a fight here, so I don't blame you for this. Close. Still living on the angle. I actually. Oh, Spec, thank you for the sub. I actually have a little bit of a problem with this because you are on the angle here. You get the pulse. You don't quite get the kill, but no, actually, I was gonna say like I don't like you leaving the angle, but I do think that like you wanted to go back towards your team. But yeah, this is a little bit awkward. Yeah, I think. Well, let's see. What do you think? Is there anything that you could have cleaned up here in terms of your position? Because the positioning is what I'm like feels off here, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so right here is that.
What do you think? Anything stand out to you majorly? It's okay to say no.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. I don't see anything terribly particular. You just lost both tanks before like anything should have happened. So, oh dear. So I mean, really, I think the most important things that we've talked about are filling in some of the details with the first round of what to do if you run into somebody while you're trying to get to backline, avoiding playing main, what to do when your monkey goes in deep, right? All those kind of details, right? And then we touched on those a little bit in the second round, but a lot of it has just been the mindset is there, the execution is just missing a little bit, right? Your timing isn't bad, but sometimes you get up a good flank or an angle, but you see, or a Roadhog Sigma Moira, and instead of like just pressuring, you run all the way across the map and then accomplish nothing anyway. But honestly, do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. I don't know why I preface that with an honestly, but that happens. So honestly, I think this so far, I think the way you're, not just the way you're playing, but the way you're explaining some of your decisions to me is good. I think it's promising. That was not so promising. Was this a, I'm going to go flank this way, oh shoot, that's probably not a good enough flank, I'm going to go this way instead?
Wait, what was that?
This is confusing to me. Did you go right and like, oh shoot, wrong side?
No, I kind of expected him to go over there.
So you went this way and you're like, no, I shouldn't be over here, I should be over here instead?
Yeah, because it's a pretty tight angle.
Yeah, I agree. This probably makes a lot more sense for Tracer. Just in that situation, you would want to obviously start off going this direction, so you get here a little faster. Okay. Now, this is where we put on our Jeopardy game show theme music, because what do you do? Because we're running into the problem again, aren't we? What's the problem? Same thing that happened last round. Who's on your angle? Yeah. So what do you do?
Pharaoh Reaper.
So what do you do?
But I think I take the other angle instead.
So
that's what I did.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Okay. Is that what you should have done? If so, why? Or if not, why?
Thinking maybe not, because then they just get that right there for free.
Okay.
Not contesting them at all.
Could you reasonably contest them safely?
Maybe from the stairs right there.
Okay.
Try not to die.
Okay. Okay. So this one's a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. This one, especially with this tiny little space here, you might contest them well. You might not. You might hit a damage because they also have a mercy. You might take one damage boosted rocket because you're a little too close, or that Reaper might force your recall early and then you don't get healing, so you have to go all the way back to your team because you don't have a Zen. There's a lot of little details here. And my point is not that I want you to think about the details too much, but this is something you'd have to kind of trust your gut on. But these are the situations where it's not so much important that you make the right decision, just so much that you make a decision and stick with it, if that makes any sense. So if you want to contest these guys, fine. You could probably do it. You are not going to get any kills, no one clips. Maybe get 40% pulse charge, an hour, but you will help your team. Or you can leave the angle and go around through here, or wrap around this side and play patty cake with a Roadhog. Not exactly the best thing you could be doing, but you can. You could also blink through main, drop through, wrap around, and you're going to be absolutely late, but you get a lot of value if you end up here. So there's just many options. I just want you to pick one and roll with it, right? So let's see what you do. You give up, you take an angle on the hog. Fine. Now, this is what we don't love, right? Because what have you done here? What have you done? Do you see any red on your screen right now? Like really?
No.
Not much. It's the Roadhog, right? So what does this mean for you now in terms of positioning? What can you do?
There.
What was that?
Not really sure.
Okay.
Right there.
You have options though. You could go here and shoot here. This might be a little scary. You could blink through. I don't know how many blinks you have here, but you could go blink all the way through here. And now you're set up on the back line. Now the angle is clear, and now you can start to pressure from here. And again, play your life, right? Be very careful. Yeah. But you could do that. And would that be a lot of pressure?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think of doing that.
Yeah. That's okay. That's why we're reviewing this, to practice these things. But this feels ugly. You kind of see what I'm saying? This feels a whole lot of nothing, but it also feels stressful as all get out. Now, to be clear, this point... Well, what do you think about this point for Tracer, first off? What are your thoughts?
Usually not. I don't think it's the best point for Tracer.
Why?
Hold on.
Sure. Shut up, guys. Oh my gosh.
Alright, I'm sorry. Someone's talking to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Or what was
so
that?
You're talking about like this tracer on this map.
Oh yeah. I think Just the type map, I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah. I would agree with that. What hero would probably be better? A hero that you play comfortably.
Soldier maybe?
Okay. Do you play soldier comfortably?
Yeah.
Okay. What other heroes do you play comfortably? Or is it just those two?
No, let's play Ash, Echo, McCree.
Yeah. I would probably
Just
like the
depends.
McCree here, but soldier would be okay as well. Okay. But yeah, I would agree with you. This one feels a little tricky for Tracer. It requires some good decision making, which you're still working on right now.
Much better.
Do you understand like what the whole deal with that fight was? Make a decision if you want to take the 2v1 or if you want to take a different angle. You took a different angle, but you really didn't, did you?
Yeah.
you left the angle first chance you got instead of like actually. Now obviously you could not have just sat in here because you would have gotten hooked at some point. But you can keep going, right? You can keep going. You can keep going. You could have gone in here, and you had different options. Okay. Oh boy.
And yeah.
Now I want you to think real quick. Assuming you don't just get annihilated by Genji Cat, where do you go? Why are you peeking here?
I know it wasn't the best decision, but I think the reason I did it was because the whole team was right there. My whole team was there.
Okay, so where do you want to position? Oh yeah, Cassidy. I forget the name. I literally was like I didn't even think about it. Somebody in chat says Cassidy, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a cool name. Anyway,
Nice.
I like literally just whoosh. Okay, my bad. Okay, so so you want to set up here. So where do you want to go?
All the way to the right.
Okay. Why? What does this accomplish?
Like right there. Because they can't directly shoot me from right there.
Okay, and where would you go from here?
I'm thinking further right.
Okay.
Take a long flank. I'm thinking
Ooh, okay. Yeah. You can also go underneath as well.
underneath.
Yeah, but I like what you said as well. All right. Okay. Annoying. Okay. Tragedy. I mean, this is a bit of a mess. This is a bit of a mess. Because you died so late last time, this isn't even a proper fight, right? Like, this is, like, technically what you're doing now is the right thing, but, like, there's just nothing happening. Like, your team is down one. You're late to the fight. Optimally, you would be already around and have your angle set up, but because you died to just random fire rocket, like, it's just a wash. Like, there's not a whole lot to say here. Are you swapping?
Yeah.
Would you like me to
Ash.
just quickly look at your Ash?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So then let's stop then, and just for like visual cues, okay? Like you don't forget like what's actually happening in the battlefield. Just like look at the map, right? Hey, Sleepy Heart, thank you for the sub. What are your main takeaways from this map?
This map specifically right here?
Sure.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Just, just take flanks, pressure them.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Was that majorly the big one for you?
I don't know.
Okay. What happens if you run into somebody on the flank?
Duel them?
Yeah.
Pressure them?
Yeah, if it's somebody you're comfortable doing, sure. All right. What about this one? Think about this one. What do we talk about here?
Talked about, pressuring them again.
Okay. What could you have done cleaner here?
Probably made some better decisions about where I want to go and sticking to it.
Okay. What about this one?
Ready for battle.
And this one, yeah, like, same thing. Just making a decision and sticking with it, not just changing it, doing nothing.
Yep. So here's where we really get down to the nitty gritty before we wrap up this review. I'm not your coach. because I'm going to work with you once. I might work with you again sometime in the future, but I'm not working with you on a consistent basis. You are your coach. I'm a third party for hire essential reviewer that's going to tell you some highlight things and hopefully get you thinking about things the proper way, but you have to be the one that executes these things. And it seems like you've already taken some initiative with this, not just with a review, but looking at some other like VODs and getting an idea of like what you want to be doing. So the question is how do you get better at this? How do you coach yourself? How do you work through something? How do you improve these things? Like what's your plan?
My plan, you know, just try to just have it in my mind, you know, just
Okay.
if I make the mistake, I'm like, oh, I died because of this reason. I should change it next fight.
Okay.
You know, just know what I'm doing wrong and try to fix it.
What if you don't know what you're doing wrong in the game? Because like the game is fast paced. You might die and be like, what, or something, or you lose a team fight. Like, wait, what? So how do you think about? How do you learn from those experiences?
I look at my own VODs.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Looking for, you know, why I died. What caused me to die right there.
Okay. I would go as
Or
far
what-
as saying, reviewing your own VODs, don't just look at why you died. Because there's going to be a lot of fights that you might even win or where you don't die. You lose a fight, but you don't die. Okay. What should you be looking for in those fights?
Maybe what I could have done better.
Sure. Was I in the best spot? Right? Was it better for me to be elsewhere or doing other things? Could I have used my cooldowns better? You're smart. I want you to understand that you have, like, my dad always used to say, like, what's smart mean, right? Okay, let's put it this way. You are educated, at least in terms of what your role is. You know, I a couple of times we hit some road bumps and I helped you through them a little bit, but for the most part, you knew exactly what you should and shouldn't have been doing for almost the entire VOD. And that's very good. So you really have the tool set to improve yourself significantly in terms of the knowledge. But the question is are you going to be able to take that tool set and actually apply it? So all you need to do is, like I said, could I position better? Was that the best move here, or should I have gone elsewhere? Right? And give yourself that feedback. Doesn't have to be long. 5 minutes between. Just do, like, legitimately. If you did 5 to 10 minutes of self-review between VODs or between queues, you would be game. You'd be improving. And that's all it takes. Just give yourself a little bit of here. Oh, that was a really bad map. Why did that feel so bad? Was Tracer just not the pick, or like was I just positioned wrong? You know, and sometimes, like we saw today, you will do the right thing and still get punished. That's why I don't like saying, oh, I died, I messed up. Sometimes that's just not the case. Sometimes you played very well and then you died anyway. Sometimes you played like trash and you win anyway. You kind of see what I'm saying? So be objective about it. If we screw the result, look at how the quality of play was. Was the quality of play good? Could it have been better? And you go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Doing that consistency along with just general consistency with your level of play, playing consistently a little bit every day. Doesn't have to be a lot, but a little bit every day. Try not to split your heroes. So as you said, I play all hit scan heroes. Be careful about that. How much do you play a day? About?
Maybe like 2 to 3 hours every day.
So that's reasonable. That's not a bad amount of time, but just be careful about how many players that you play with. That would start to become a problem if you were playing like 4 or 5 heroes, if that makes sense. Because that means that you're not likely to get one hero played every single day, if that makes sense. So for example, if you're playing 2 or 3 hours, you might not play Ashe every single day, depending on how DPS queues are.
Like,
go ahead.
Like usually I always try to play Tracer because I just want to improve on Tracer, so I usually play Tracer. And usually, if I'm not doing good, that's when I'll swap to a different character.
Why?
If we need anything, anything else.
I like that phrased better, because if you're struggling with Tracer because you're playing poorly or you're dealing with something that you can't figure out, swapping is the absolute worst thing that you could possibly do. Because you're dealing with situations of like, oh, I have to figure this out. I have to solve this. And even if you don't solve it in the fly, when can you solve it?
Later when if I look back at the VOD.
Right. And that's how learning and improvement happens. Now, I'm not saying, they're playing literal Torb, Kree, Brig, like that might be a situation where even an Overwatch League player doesn't play Tracer, right? So you don't even want to review that. But if it's this is difficult, this is unfavorable, I don't know what I'm doing on this map, figure it out. Nobody's going to cry if you lose a ranked game. If as long as you're giving it your best effort and trying different things and thinking things through, you're fine. You're not throwing the game. Tracer's an amazing hero. Tracer is, like we said, almost impossible to hard counter. There's almost never a situation where you have to swap off Tracer. You just need to get better at Tracer, and you need to figure it out. So I encourage you to, have another DPS hero just in case, or maybe another hero like McCree or Cassidy or Reaper or whatever to play around with. But there's nothing wrong with figuring out situations, and even a game where it's like really, really difficult, but you figure out a situation to make it work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get you.
Yeah. Now, if it starts to get really, really, really frustrating and you're demotivated to play, then maybe an adjustment here and there. But even then, like you do need to get yourself in the mindset of like, I know this might be a little frustrating, but it's okay. It's good for me long term. Eat your vegetables, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any questions about anything at all?
Questions? Nah.
Okay. So this is very good. I think you have a good foundation. And I encourage you to go practice and be consistent and be patient, because I think what we saw was relatively promising. All right, mate. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
You have a good weekend. All right.
All right. You too, man.
See ya.
See ya.